to serve you. And I wake up every morning knowing that I can wear one of two shirts. What can you do for me? Or how can I serve you? And I choose the one deliberately every single morning, and how can I serve you? And ever since I've done that, it's been the most selfish thing. So I take that darkness, the rage, the anger, and I just use it for good. The truth of the matter is, whether you're growing up, you're a foreigner like I am in this country, and you're growing up against bigotry and hate and being broke and moving around from school to school and being bullied and picked on, and I think more people ought to put themselves in positions where they deal with adversity and challenges so that they can develop some sense of anger. I think it's useful for me, and I think more people ought to embrace that darkness, that rage, because it gives you a sense of being invincible. So, only in hindsight, as Steve Jobs says, when you look back, all the dots connect, but I realized all that anger and rage was coming from just, I have to go protect myself, right? But each time I did that, it gave me the sense of, I can get over any obstacle. Surely I can build a business, surely I can take some criticism online, right? But not enough people are willing to build that mental, emotional toughness. And the moment they do, they'll persevere. Why not go run a marathon? So I trained for 6 weeks and went and ran a marathon. It was the most painful thing I ever did, but I realized that was more the suffering and the pain. And the more pain I had, the more it put me into the zone of wanting to dominate. I don't think that we would be here if we didn't have a purpose. I can tell you that. It's our job to develop that purpose. It's our job to find and hone in and craft that purpose. And the purpose is usually crafted through some level of suffering. We have to go through that level of suffering. Like for me, everything that happened, literally one day eating caviar for breakfast, the next day starving. See, when we came to America, we were poor and broke, the way I looked at it, because we would always run out of money before run out of month. We decided, do we do without electricity or gas? Because some months we couldn't afford to pay both. And being broke is being without money. Being poor is being kind of scarcity-minded, poor-minded. And we just realized that money's for the rich, money's for the Americans, it's for the people who were born here, who went to college. Money's for the white folk and not for the foreigners. Because that's how it was. Because every time we went and got more food stamps, it was all foreigners. There was no white people in line. I was just sick and tired of being poor and broke-minded and hustling and grinding, trying to figure things out, finding a loophole in things. And so I figured there's got to be a better way. When the pain is great enough, you start taking action. The pain was great enough. Hey, you know what? You can't be scarcity-minded. You have to live in abundance. You have to understand that people just want a solution to a problem, and they don't care about the color of your skin, about the level of your education. Another pattern that I had was that being proud to be blue collar. Like my dad was like, and he still says this, work is holy, and I believe that work is holy. But the fact that he had so many jobs, a paper route, pumping gas, worked at a pizzeria, and so because of that mindset, blue collar, we were always this blue collar mentality, and I took pride in being blue collar. And it's nuts to have this like entrepreneurial mindset being installed in you when where you're coming from is poor-minded, broke-minded, and scarcity-minded. I knew that I had to do something more. Don't use the shovel, sell the shovel. I'd never heard that phrase before. I'm the guy that took pride in I could dig a deeper hole, a deeper trench, I could outwork you, but that's still trading time for dollars. And so to be able to break those limiting belief systems that I had, to me was huge. And all of a sudden I realized I'm no longer poor-minded, but I may make one or two bad decisions with my money or my investment and end up being broke again, but I'll never be poor. And I know how to get back from broke because I know how to add value to society, solve problems in exchange for money. But I'll never be poor again. Poor is a state of mind of feeling out of control, scarcity-minded. You've got a brain, you've got a solution to a problem that people want to pay for, and one day I'm going to do it. When is that day? Have you ever put a date to it? Nope. So I had to break that pattern of being a procrastinator. I had no morning ritual. I would wake up, hit the snooze button, it would go off again, I'd hit it one more time, and then I'd get up, what do I do, right? The way you cross the chasm is by building a morning ritual. Yeah, don't hit the snooze button, but make a list the night before. Do a brain dump. What are the 3 to 5 things that you need to do that's going to really move the needle in your business or in your life, right? And then go and do that. Put yourself in a position where you're going to thrive, not where it's going to be comfortable. Most immigrants will come here and they'll think, blue collar, how am I going to trade time for dollars? And so job number 1, job number 2, job number 3, get minimum sleep. My argument is, how quickly can you think of a service, a product, a business model that you can deploy in exchange for money, right? How can you leverage yourself? No longer do I want to take the easy path. I'll always take the hardest path, and it becomes the best path. And so I realized very quickly that I've got this hunger inside, but the society, parents, whoever have set the standard for you to not play it safe, take risks. What if you lose? What if you lose? Who cares? As long as you don't die, you can come right back. Like, hey, don't take big risks. Just go get a good job. More people should be hard on themselves. We go around bubble wrapping ourselves, right? We leave the training wheels on for too long. Like, be hard on yourself. Take the training wheels off. More people need to be abundant-minded in that if the economy crashes, I just have to deliver more value. And so there's this hunger that everyone has, and it's always neutered by family, by teachers, by culture. And I believe you wouldn't be put on this planet if you didn't have this hunger. And if you explore this hunger, and for me it was then being a fat kid, then being a foreigner, and then a fat kid, and then fixing my problems, and then realizing I have the solution to other people's weight loss problems. For someone else, it might be a financial thing. You know, they fix their financial problems, and they realize they can help everyone else's financial problems. But you have to go through the suffering. You have to be hungry enough to deal with the pain and come out the other side with some scars, because scar tissue is infinitely more resilient than regular tissue. But again, it goes back to most people feel like, yeah, I think there's something great in me, but I don't want to explore it. I want to play it safe. I'm going to stay bubble wrapped. I don't want to risk it. But we wouldn't be put on this planet if we didn't have this greater thing to accomplish. Whatever your purpose is, you've got to develop it. You've got to develop it. But you wouldn't be put on this planet if you didn't have it. I'm convinced of that. The impact I want to have on the world is that we're all here with so much potential. It's unfortunate, but most of us leave with the majority of that potential untapped. If I could just help enough people realize that they hold the pen and there's way more pages to be written and they could write it, then I've actually served my impact.